What's going on? I'm going to be going over new Retro Homebrew games playable on the Retroid Pocket 2, RG350, and other emulators. If you want to check out some more new Homebrew games, I'll have my playlist linked as an annotation and in the description. And don't forget to subscribe, as I usually do one of these once a month. So now let's get into the games. Starting off the NES games is Kubo 3. It was released this year and was developed by a 7-year-old with some help from his dad. It's sort of like a simplistic Zelda 2, with a top-down overworld that takes you to at least 4 side-scrolling levels. Each level has its own theme. One takes place in the sky, one is underwater, one is in a graveyard, and one is in a cave. Each ending with a boss to defeat so you can get the sacred crystals. The final boss level is in a castle-like level. The whole game only takes about 20 minutes or so to beat, so I say it's worth a playthrough. The platforming feels pretty good, but it is free, so if it interests you, check it out. This is Lizard. It was released in 2018. It's a very tough platform adventure game where you use 7 different lizard suits, which each give you different abilities to traverse the several areas within 2 worlds. You can pretty much explore the world in any order you want, except for the parts that require specific suits to access. The platform is tough and takes a little getting used to, but it feels fair. There isn't really any way to fight the enemies in this game, so it is mostly just platforming to avoid them and getting used to their movements. This is just the demo version, so I can't go everywhere in the world, but it does interest me enough to purchase the full game, which is only $10, so I plan to play more of it in the future. The first Genesis game is Shrine Maiden's Shizuka. It's an upcoming Metrovania-style game about shrine maidens on a mission to conjure evil spirits and seal the door to the spiritual world. This demo unfortunately only has 1 level, but the animation and sprite work is awesome. It gives me a very anime vibe. The platforming feels really good, and the fighting is well done too. And I can't wait for this one to be finished. Next is Gluff, and it looks like it was released this year as well. You play as a Tesla frog that can accumulate power from generators. You have to use this to power up the platforms to reach the next level. It's an arcade puzzle platforming game where you have to avoid enemies and complete the levels. It's a cool little puzzle game for some quick fun. It's also free, so check it out. Now is Debtor, which is a 2D action platformer released this year. This is just a demo with 7 levels. I couldn't find a way to buy the full ROM, just the cartridge. In the full game, you play as a borrower who becomes ill and loses consciousness. You wake up in a mysterious dungeon with 30 levels to collect your debts. Collect coins, push boxes, clear your way, and solve small puzzles to move on to the next level. This is Penalty Kick 91. It's a Game Boy game that was released in 2019. It's a football/soccer goal shooting minigame. It's you versus the computer. You control where you kick the ball and with how much power to try and outscore the computer. It's not very long, and I don't know how much replayability there is, but the different screens with the artwork and animations are really cool for Game Boy. The only problem I have with it is it has no music or sound effects whatsoever, but other than that, it's pretty cool. The only Game Boy Advance game on this list is Anguna. It was an indie game that was released in 2008. It feels like an old school top-down Zelda where you just go where you want without much direction, and you gather items to help you fight bosses and progress. It's pretty difficult so far. The art style reminds me of Diablo if it was made on the Game Boy Advance. The overworld has a lot to explore. The combat feels good and is responsive, and there are secondary weapons and tools defined to help you out. I'd recommend this one if you're a fan of Zelda or action-adventure games in general. That's another video on new games playable on retro emulators. Let me know what your favorite was down in the comments, and if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as I'll be doing more of these in the future. I think the next one will focus on just Game Boy games, but for now, thanks for watching.